Hi friends, today we're finally decorating for fall. I'm using all of the DIYs I created in my last video. If you missed that, go check it out after this one. It has taken me a lot longer than I expected to get my fall decor out this year, but I've really been enjoying the process of DIYing my own decor, and I love how everything is coming together. In today's video, I'm upcycling a thrifted vase into a stunning fall centerpiece that adds charm and warmth to any space. I'll show you how to create a high-end fall garland for your mantle using affordable finds from Walmart and the Dollar Tree. Then come along with me as I decorate my mantle in a cozy palette of blues and oranges, featuring lots of DIY fall decor. I will be sharing my favorite tips and tricks for creating beauty without breaking the bank. If you love budget-friendly decorating with a designer touch, then you're in the right place. Last night I had a virtual craft date with my friend and I painted this glass vase with coats of white acrylic paint. For the base, so that the acrylic paint would adhere to the glass better, I mixed in a little bit of baking soda and that gave it a little bit of texture. Now I'm prepping the napkin flower patterns that I want to use. I've decided to go with this bird and flower print for this big vase. So I've been cutting apart the birds and the different floral designs. And I think I'm going to use at least 2 napkins for the big vase, just so I have a few more flowers and pieces to work with. The longest part of this DIY might be prepping all of your flower shapes. Make sure you only have 1 ply of your napkin and then cut out around any designs you want to use. I like cutting out some bigger designs and cutting out some smaller details to help fill in little areas. You don't need to cut out all the white space, but I like to trim close to the edge of my designs. Before I add any glue to my vase, I like to choose the placement of my flowers. Once I like the position, I paint a section of Mod Podge on the vase in roughly the same size and shape. Then I gently press my design into the glue and add another coat of Mod Podge on top. Repeat this process using different shapes to help create your design and cover your vase. I didn't record this step, but you can either leave your vase as is, as long as you covered everything in Mod Podge, including white spaces. I took it a step further and used high gloss varnish as my sealant because I don't like the tacky finish of using Mod Podge. I really wanted a vase like this to put some orange leaves and flowers in. So I'm actually going to show you real quick what I plan to put in this vase. I found these orange eucalyptus stems at Hobby Lobby. I just think this color of orange is so pretty. And then I also love this blush eucalyptus stem that I found at Walmart. It ties in with the leaves I have on my mantle. I don't know if they're berries. I just thought the texture was really fun. So these branches I got from Hobby Lobby. So I put all of those together. I've kind of spread out my branches a little bit so the colors are evenly dispersed. And then I'm going to stick these stems straight into this vase. I just think the blue and the orange look so good together because they're complementary colors. I found this beautiful fall leaf garland at Walmart. I think it's beautiful as is, but I saw a couple of more expensive garlands online that I really love, so I'm going to try and add a few elements to this garland to make it fit my decor a little bit more and maybe make it feel a little bit more high-end. The leaves feel like a really nice quality. They're pretty thick. They have a nice soft texture to them. They don't feel plasticky. For the elements that I want to incorporate, I have some things that I've collected from the Dollar Tree over the past year or two. I have these blue and silvery blue pumpkin clips from the Dollar Tree. I made a few orange pumpkin clips from pumpkins I found at Hobby Lobby, and I think they look really similar. So I like to clip those into my garlands every year at fall. I also found this year at the Dollar Tree, they have blue maple leaves. Since I'm doing blue on my mantle, I thought it would be fun to incorporate a few of these blue leaves into this garland just to add a little bit more color and tie that color palette together. I also DIY'd a bunch of leaves from book pages, and I'm going to twist a couple of these into my garland as well. I think it's really fun since I have the books in my fireplace. I thought I could incorporate some more elements of book pages, and I just love the vintage color of these pages. I don't want to hot glue any of these elements into my garland just because I like to be able to change things around year from year. I'm going to be attaching the leaves into my garland with floral wire. For the leaves that I made, they already have these floral wire stems that I can just wrap around the existing garland. For the blue leaves, I will just pull them off of the stem and then use a little piece of floral wire to wrap them. Another thing you could do is take off one existing set of leaves and they just pop right off, and you could pop on a different color leaf instead. And that would be really easy. You wouldn't need any glue or tools or wire, and you could just add a few fun colored leaves into the garland you already have. For floral wire, you just want something that's pretty flexible. I don't remember what gauge this wire is, but it's pretty thin and it's pretty flexible. You could also use a floral wire like this that comes on a spool. This garland also comes with a few of these sprigs of styrofoam berries. I think they're cute, but they don't really go with what I'm imagining. Pull these off. Before we jump into creating my garland, I wanted to show you how I made these easy DIY pumpkin clips. When I saw this pumpkin stem at Hobby Lobby, I knew the velvet pumpkins would match perfectly with the blue velvet ones I already had. I grabbed a package of tiny hair clips so I could make my own. I used flower wire cutters to cut the pumpkins off at the branch, and then I hot glued a little clip to the bottom of each pumpkin. These pumpkins are great for adding that extra fall touch to your existing garlands. Here we have our leaf garland. I'm gonna need two just because my mantle is so long and I like to let them drape a little bit. And then I have my wire and wire cutters here. Because I have two garlands, I'm gonna divide all of my materials in half so I make sure that I'm spreading them out evenly between the two garlands that I have. I started out by adding in the blue leaves to my garland. I used my hand to estimate the width between my blue flowers. Then, using 3 to 4 inches of floral wire, I secure the leaves onto the garland by twisting the wire to connect them. I love the fun pop of color the blue leaves add to this neutral garland. It's the perfect way to tie in some blue into my fall decor. Next, I'm adding in my pumpkin clips. The clips make it super easy to add them into a garland and then adjust them as needed. You can see the garland really start coming together. With just a few extra elements, we are able to elevate this piece to have a designer look to it. You could stop here, but I DIY'd some book page leaves in my previous video and I thought they would make the perfect addition to this garland. I decided it would be easiest to add in my book page leaves after I hung the garland on my mantle. Using some tiny command hooks and string, I started draping the leaves across my mantle. After my garland was in place, I went back and adjusted the position of my pumpkins so you could see them better. For the final element, I took 2 book page leaves and twisted them into the garland, using the wire to position and shape them. I think the book page leaves add such a fun texture and detail to this piece. I wanted to add a bow in the center of my garland, so I raided my craft stash and found an orange and a blue ribbon that I thought would work well. I ended up choosing the orange bow to help tie in the orange pumpkins on the garland. When decorating, it helps me to see everything I have to work with. I like to sort and lay out all my elements so I can figure out how I want to incorporate everything. This year I decided to go with a color palette of blues and oranges. I wanted to be able to utilize my pumpkins and decor from previous years, but also create something that felt new. I finally finished putting together all of the DIYs I've been working on this year. I'm so excited to bring everything together and decorate my mantle. Behind me, I have organized the decor I might use on my mantle. I'm going to highlight a few pieces quickly that I DIY'd and added to my decor this year. I did not have very many orange pumpkins in my collection, so I got a cheap bag of pumpkins and I made them look more high-end. I changed the paint colors to be a little bit more muted and soft and added new stems with air dry clay. These are going to be the perfect filler pieces. This is not a DIY from this year, but I made this several years back. It's a Mickey topiary pumpkin. This has just never really gone with the color palette of my other decor, so it's never had a front and center spot on my mantles. So I'm excited to give this piece a little bit more of a spotlight this year. This is another DIY I added this year, these floral painted pumpkins. Previously, I had done these in blue and pink, so I did them to match the same style. This is another DIY. I just took a Dollar Tree pumpkin and made it a more natural orange. So those are the orange pumpkins I've added this year. A lot of the blue pumpkins I already had in my decor collection because I decorated with pinks and blues for the past couple of years, but I did add a few new blue pieces to my collection this year. Starting with this blue Chinoiserie vase. I really wanted a vase like this to put some orange leaves and flowers in. I just think the blue and the orange look so good together because they're complementary colors. Using a similar technique that I used on the vase, I took these foam Dollar Tree pumpkins, painted them white, and then added different floral patterns on top and modeled the stems out of air dry clay. So these are the two blue pumpkins that I've added to my collection this year. I also have a bunch of glass pumpkins that I have collected over the past several years, and I'm excited to use those and incorporate those into my mantle again. I like to use items on my mantle that help give me a variety of height, especially since a lot of my pumpkins are shorter. Some of the ways that I do that are with candlesticks. Candles are a great way to add some taller height to your mantle, plus I think the lighting is just so magical, so I have a couple of glass candlesticks. I thrifted these glass candlesticks this year, which I think will be really pretty on my mantle this year. And then I have a couple of small cupcake stands. I often use these in my tea cupboard to display mugs and teacups at different heights. I think these will be really useful to display some of the smaller pumpkins at a variety of heights. And then, as you can see right here, I have pulled a selection of my blue books. I like to use books on my mantle to decorate and give some height to different pieces. I like to start by adding my tallest statement pieces. So I was thinking I would put this floral pumpkin candle holder on one side of my mantle and this flower arrangement on the other side. Next, I'm adding in my books to give me a base I can add my decorations onto. I have this pumpkin candle warmer. It needed to be near an outlet so I could have it plugged in, and I thought it would look really nice next to my vase. Then I started adding in my pumpkins and playing around with placement. I wanted to balance different sizes and colors of pumpkins throughout my mantle. I started by decorating the opposite sides of my mantle, working my way towards the center. I like adding in my larger pumpkins first and then filling my smaller pumpkins into the empty spaces. I love adding books into my decor. Books are beautiful and there's a special magic in decorating with them. I love that they always remind me of fairy tales. Sometimes it takes a bit of playing around to get my pieces to look just right. Here's how it all came together, every piece, every detail, adding a little magic to the space. I love how cozy it feels. The color palette balances warm fall vibes with orange, while the blue adds an element of fantasy. I love that most of this decor is handmade, which makes it even more meaningful and unique. That DIY touch makes this space feel so personal and full of love. I love lighting my candles on special evenings and enjoying that warm, magical glow. I also added some fairy lights into my garland for a little extra magic. I absolutely love how my mantle came together this year, and I love that most of the decor on my mantle is handmade. Let me know which part of the mantle was your favorite, and tag me if you recreate any of these DIYs. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a lot more fall and holiday content that I can't wait to share with you. Until next time, keep making magic.